supper and her mother were at the best place around. Some stupid with a flare gun burned the place to the ground. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Smoke on the water. It burned down the gambling house. It died with an awful sound. Funky and Claude was running in and out, pulling kids out of the ground. When it all was over, we had to find another place. Swiss time was running out. It seemed that we would lose the race. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Smoke on the water.
You wanna know what goes on backstage? Oh, come on. Let me take you by the hand. Ow!
Rudy, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
The way I see it, Barry, this should be a very dynamite show.
You know, I have no idea what the name of this program is, but you're watching it.
Backstage,
All you ever want,
backstage,
all you ever need.
backstage.
Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. You wanna sell your ass for that backstage pass. Backstage is just for the invited. Backstage, they've laid on every.
Hi, darlings. My team says Backstage International, International, International. Okay, so here is another of the wonderful streamings of RUDI Backstage International. Like in the old days from my Miami office, this is now a new office here. I call it the Utility Muffin Research Backstage Kitchen, the short form soon, inspired by a studio name by my dear mentor and I can say colleague Frank Zappa. But first of all, it's about Queen and it's about Brian May, to be specific. I have a very, very rare video thing that a good friend of mine, Mr. Diogo Vale from Portugal sent to me. And it is when Brian is filmed by my team being in the limo when I arrived with Jim Beach on the airport in Buenos Aires in order to film the solo tour of Sir Brian May. Hi, Brian, pal. And in effect, also the footage for the video driven by you. But here is the actual initial call. It's a little bit of pop history. Here it is.
All you ever want, all you ever need. Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. Backstage, it's where you get the action. Backstage, and bring you to your knees. Backstage, you go for satisfaction. You can do what the hell you please.
Hello? Do you hear me? Is that you, Jim?
Ah, yes, it is me, singing away in the back here.
My God, it sounds weird. Should use this for recording, it's wonderful. Where's Rudy?
Rudy is sitting next to me. Would you like a quick word with him?
Yes, I think we need a quick word.
Passing you over to Rudy.
Thank you.
Hello, Brian.
Hello, Mr. Rudy, welcome. Welcome to Buenos Aires.
Thank you very much.
How is your Spanish?
Un poco.
Yeah, but I have two more rarities for Queen fans today. The other one is an interview I did with Mr. Paul Prenter. He's not loved in the Queen scene, basically because after they separated, Paul Prenter was sort of a press manager for some time, especially the time when I started to know Freddie professionally. And I did an interview with him in Munich around of the time of the prostitute interview. The funny thing about it is that Mr. Prenter is completely wrong, because he talks about that Mr. Mick Jagger is not gonna be on the stage running around when he's 60. Well, check out how old Mr. Jagger is, and that Queen would not be on stage when they are old like this. Here is the interview with Mr. Paul Prenter.
To actually stage a show like this costs us about £500,000 before we even do one show. And then you have all the production costs, other production costs after that, like the cost of the hall and the hotels for all our staff and our travel and moving of equipment and all that. We won't make any money on this tour, but you don't make any money on touring, even selling out every seat. You really don't make any money on tour unless you're playing huge, unless you're doing something like the Stones did in the States 2 years ago.
Do you think that there will ever be a stage, like you said, where someone, not Queen in particular, is too old to do a show like that on stage? Is that a problem that you have to face in this business, or do you think like Chuck Berry, who says, even when I'm 60, I will play my guitar?
Chuck Berry is totally different from what we call rock and roll today, because Chuck Berry isn't into the spectacle. Yes, there certainly will be a stage when I don't see Mick Jagger running around on stage when he's 60. A, I think he would look silly. B, I don't think he could give the presentation that he would want to give. I don't think it would satisfy him. So yes, there does come that sort of stage. You have to get into training to go on tour. And yes, it is a consideration. We aren't at that stage yet, but it does come. You know, it's being on tour is very, very grueling. It's very grueling, and it's obviously easier for younger bands, but they're not as good because you need the experience. And there does come a stage. I mean, can you see Mick Jagger at 60? And I don't think many of the fans would want to see him, and I don't think he would want to do it. I know he wouldn't want to do it. I know Freddie wouldn't want to do it, you know, so I don't see Queen touring when they're in their 60s. I won't be with them if they are. I hope that I'm sleeping, you know?
Yeah, guys, and the third part is a little thing that was filmed partly by Brian himself and by my cameraman during the shoot of when I directed the video No One But You, Only the Good Die Young. And this is a little snippet which I think is a very, very great backstage moment. Here it is.
We are today trying to make a little scene of how not to film a video, you see? These days... It's very convincing. Yeah, very convincing, yeah. The band is featuring somebody on guitar, I forgot his name, but what's his... Oh, yes. See, also this, try to come into my nose in this.
Yeah, darlings, and this is what Brian, Roger and John Deacon signed me and gave me after we did together the No One But You video. Brian, this is John, and this is Roger, and I think this is also Brian. This is together, and it's the Icarus, because that was, of course, the symbol of that video. Well, that's it, darlings. Three interesting Queen. Of course, here back you see another. That's I'm Going Slightly Mad, the original sort of idea for what Freddie would wear. Everybody who who pre-order the book will get his book. I'm signing. So there, ignore all the comments. There is a big bunch now also going out for the UK and the US. We get back quite a lot, although the addresses are correct. I don't know why, but we send it again. Don't worry. So everybody will get their books. And I'm going on tour again in August. And on my new website, www.rudisworld.com, you find all the dates of all the shows. And I say, what's the most important thing in life? Have a great week, by the way. Love and respect.
You wanna know what goes on backstage? Oh, come on. Let me take you by the hand. Ow!
Rudy, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen.
The way I see it, Barry, this should be a very dynamite show.
I have no idea what the name of this program is, but you're watching it.
Backstage. All you ever want. Backstage. All you ever need. Backstage. Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. You wanna sell your ass for that backstage pass. Backstage is just for the invited.